I met him at a leadership seminar in Lagos, a place I almost didn't attend. My boss had pushed me to go, saying I needed direction in life. I laughed it off, but the truth was, he was right. My marriage was on autopilot, my work uninspired, and my confidence quietly draining. That was when I met him, Mr. Raymond. He was older, maybe in his mid-50s, with that calmness that only experience can sculpt. The kind of man who doesn't just enter a room, he anchors it. When he spoke, everyone seemed to pause. He wasn't just teaching business or leadership, he was dissecting the human soul. And somehow, he made it sound like redemption. After his first talk, he came up to me. "You don't believe a word I said, do you?" he asked, half smiling. I froze, unsure how he'd read me that quickly. "No, sir, He waved it off. "Call me Raymond, and don't pretend you wear your doubt like a suit." That sentence stayed with me. No one had ever noticed me like that, not even my wife. That evening, we talked over coffee about purpose, choices, and regret. For the first time in a long time, I felt seen. I didn't know then that this was the start of an invisible line I would cross, a line between admiration and emotional dependency. And once crossed, there would be no turning back. Raymond began calling me often. At first, it was about my goals, "How's your proposal going?" Or, "Don't let them underestimate you." But soon the talks drifted to more personal things. My father's death, my failing marriage, my fear of being mediocre. He had this uncanny way of listening without judgment, yet challenging every excuse I made. When my wife noticed I smiled at my phone too often, I lied easily. "Just office work," I said. I didn't even flinch. That scared me later. Raymond filled a void I didn't realize I had. I started craving his approval. When he told me I reminded him of his younger self, my chest warmed with a strange pride. When he said he was proud of me, it hit deeper than any compliment my wife had ever given. One night, I told him about an argument at home. He listened silently before saying, "Sometimes the person you love can't meet the depth of who you're becoming." That line broke me. I knew he was right, or I convinced myself he was. I began seeing my wife as a distraction from growth, while Raymond became a mirror of everything I wanted to be. I was betraying her emotionally, but I didn't care. I told myself it was mentorship, not infidelity. Yet every message, every late call, carried a weight I couldn't explain. Months passed, and my connection with Raymond deepened into something unspoken. My life revolved around his validation. I stopped discussing important things with my wife, because Raymond already knew what I was feeling. He became my secret world. I'd sneak outside at night to talk to him, under the pretense of work calls. Sometimes we'd discuss philosophy, sometimes my failures. But often, it was silence, comfortable, binding silence. One evening, he said softly, "You remind me that life can still surprise me." That sentence replayed in my head like a forbidden song. I didn't know what he meant, but I felt something shift between us, something that couldn't be said aloud. I began to hate myself. My wife was trying, cooking my favorite meals, asking if I was okay, but I was elsewhere. I was emotionally unfaithful, yet I told myself it wasn't real because there was no physical act. But in truth, my heart had already moved. That night, I stared at my reflection and realized, love doesn't need to be physical to be disloyal. Sometimes the most dangerous affairs are the ones no one can see. It happened during a mentorship retreat Raymond hosted. My wife thought it was a work trip. I spent 3 days with him and other mentees in a mountain lodge. Raymond and I stayed up late talking. He shared things about his own loneliness, his regrets about not having children, his failed marriage. That night, I saw the man behind the mentor, a lonely, aging soul hiding behind wisdom. It hurt to see him human, but it also made him more real. He told me, "People come and go, but very few understand you before you even speak. You're one of them." Those words felt like a vow. I didn't respond, but my silence said enough. We both knew this bond had crossed the safe line. From that night onward, I started pulling away, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. Every message from him felt heavier. Every missed call a relief. I started reinvesting in my marriage, trying to fix what I had broken. But guilt never really fades, it just changes shape. Years have passed since I last saw Raymond. Sometimes I still get emails from him, short, wise, distant. I never reply. I tell myself that's strength, but it feels more like mourning. My wife never found out. She thinks the phase one went through was just midlife stress. Maybe it was. But I know what it truly was, a betrayal that had no name. I still think about him sometimes. When I see a young man lost in his purpose, I remember how easily admiration can become addiction. How guidance can become dependence. And how love, no matter its form, can turn into a kind of infidelity. I'll never tell anyone this story, not even my wife. It's a secret that lives quietly inside me, a reminder that some connections are meant to change us, not belong to us. When people ask why I value loyalty so much now, I smile faintly. Because once, I gave mine away to someone who didn't even ask for it. And that's the truth I can never say aloud. This story is a work of creative fiction inspired by real-life emotional experiences. All characters, names, and events are fictional and do not depict any real individuals. This story explores themes of emotional infidelity, guilt, and personal reflection intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. In My Mentor and I, a secret I can never tell anyone, True Infidelity Story, an anonymous man confesses how admiration for his mentor quietly evolved into an emotional affair that changed his marriage, and his life. It's not a story about romance but about crossed lines, unspoken bonds, and the silent cost of needing someone too deeply. He was never caught, but the weight of that secret has never left him. Some affairs don't need a bed to be real, they live in the mind, the heart, and the guilt that follows. Right finger if you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another emotional, true infidelity story. Your support helps bring more confessional tales that reveal the hidden corners of love, betrayal, and redemption.